Why'd they have to wait 55 years for this? Find out Tuesday at 6:30.
President Clinton's debut on the world stage, the Tokyo Economic Summit. America's heartland, rivers running through it and over it. The damage is growing. And gearing up for another summer of abortion battles across America.
This is NBC Nightly News with Tom Brokaw, reporting from Tokyo.
Good evening from Tokyo, where it is a rainy Wednesday morning. Not as wet as it is in middle America, but this is an appropriate setting for the first day of this economic summit. President Clinton and the leaders of the world industrial powers, after all, face cloudy prospects for any kind of progress on trade, on jobs, Bosnia, aid to Russia. President Clinton already has met with the Japanese Prime Minister Kiichi Miyazawa, but Miyazawa is expected to be out of power by the end of the month. Japan is going through major political turmoil, so trade talks will be even more difficult than usual. We'll have more on the summit later, but today's big story is back home, those devastating floods along the Mississippi and in other parts of the Midwest. Still more rain, and that means still more misery for that waterlogged part of the country. The area around Davenport, Iowa is getting the worst of it, but hundreds of miles of the Mississippi are at the highest water in almost 30 years. NBC's Dawn Fratangelo has more tonight.
America's longest river continues to run toward a new record. From Minnesota to Missouri, more than 100,000 square miles are flooded. In the last week, the Mississippi has claimed 7 lives, as well as the livelihoods of business people and farmers. In Illinois alone, 150 farms have had to be evacuated. The Midwest's rich fields are the wettest they've been in a century, damaging vital crops. Barge traffic has been closed now for 2 weeks. That combination continues to drive prices higher on the Chicago Board of Trade.
There is some erosion of the road going on.
The Army Corps of Engineers headquarters in Illinois resembles a war room. They monitor every drop of rain that adds to the ever-changing level.
I know you ain't gonna like what I have to say, but they're forecasting 30 feet on the 11th.
We get calls from people who actually start to cry on the phone when you give them the forecast.
A stubborn high pressure in the Gulf of Mexico keeps feeding storms and generating rain in the Midwest. Another 4 inches on Monday forced more evacuations in Illinois, Iowa, and Missouri. Over the past 5 decades, the federal government has spent $23 billion on flood control along the Mississippi, yet it's not enough to stop it this time.
I'm not sure, given an event that we've just gone through, that we can really build a project big enough to control a flood on the Mississippi that we're experiencing right now.
Residents are trying to handle it with sandbags, but many makeshift dikes are already soggy. What's worse, there is a new crest projection in Iowa. The river is going up again.
So far today, we've probably gone through 10,000 sandbags, and we're probably going to go through another 5,000 before the day is over.
The prediction of a new crest here is discouraging for the residents who thought they were getting an upper hand on this river. They're fighting this flooding with little sleep, and today, even lower morale.
Don, what's the next crisis point in the Davenport area?
Well, a crisis could be an inch, but now officials are predicting another 5 inches from this river. And that could be disastrous for the levees here, Tom. In fact, downriver, one levee is at risk of going, and if it does go, about 300 homes could go with it.
And when is that likely to happen, the additional 5 inches?
Well, officials are predicting it's going to come sometime tomorrow. The official crest is about 22.4 inches. That is just short of the record set in 1965, the worst flood this area has seen.
Thank you, Dawn. And about 160 miles downriver is NBC's Kenley Jones in the St. Louis area, where all that water is now headed. Kenley, what are you seeing there today?
Well, Tom, the weather forecast here is not promising either. This afternoon, the St. Louis area was drenched by heavy rainfall, and a small community just north of here, West Alton, Missouri, was ordered evacuated. The crest of the river is not expected here until a week from today, and because of the extensive flood control system, only minimal damage is expected within the city. But upriver, it's another story. All along the Mississippi north of St. Louis, river towns like the small farming community of Foley are bracing for what could be record crests. Some residents have already evacuated their homes, but not Diane McDonald.
We're going to stick around.
Be protecting
others, like Tim Shepard, are sticking around to keep looters out.
They're going to be really surprised when they get inside a house and find somebody waiting with a shotgun.
While water levels are not yet as high as the big flood of 1973 here, they are already making it tough on farmers. Early spring rains washed out crops. Now floods.
That wheat crop was lost, and now I planted corn and beans, and now that's a loss. So I'm total loss this year, really.
Dale Hahn farms 600 acres just outside of Foley. In 1973, he was hit hard by spring floods, but then water receded in time to plant again. Not this year. He got a double whammy, spring and summer, more than $77,000 in losses.
I will have to borrow on my assets or whatever to make ends do, and plus borrow to put in next year's crop.
He is not alone. Millions of acres of farmland beside the Mississippi and its tributaries are underwater, with little chance they will dry out in time to grow another crop this year. Farming is always a gamble. Dale Hahn gambled against Old Man River that he would not need crop insurance this year. He lost. Kenley Jones, NBC News, along the Mississippi River.
Thanks, Kenley Jones in the St. Louis area. And when Nightly News continues in a moment, I'll have more on the economic summit, which is about to get underway here in Tokyo. And brother, can you spare a yen? Americans in Tokyo struggle with sky-high prices as their dollars shrink.
I usually buy a Post Raisin Bran. They say it's premium. Total Raisin Bran? Never heard of it before. The raisins are big. Tastes good. Wow, look at this. Total Raisin Bran's got 100% of all these vitamins and minerals. Post Raisin Bran doesn't. Not even close. This is the primo stuff.
Total Raisin Bran. The Raisin Bran with the total difference.
All those vitamins and minerals, and it tastes good. Can I keep this?
With all I've got to do, I can't afford a sleepless night. So when I feel I can't sleep, I take Maximum Strength Nitol. It's safe and it works fast, and that means a better night's sleep.
Get to sleep in minimum time with Maximum Strength Nitol.
When we surprised Diane Malcolm April 15th, she didn't believe us.
You just won $1 million.
That'd be a catch.
But the rest of the family was easier to convince. We're the Prize Patrol from Publishers Clearinghouse, ready to surprise you next month.
President Clinton is here in Tokyo to pressure the Japanese to open up more of their markets to American products. But like other American presidents, he's finding that's not easy. And he's dealing with the Japanese Prime Minister who will be replaced in a matter of weeks. NBC's Andrea Mitchell tonight on the President's Balancing Act.
If anything symbolized Clinton's uncertain prospects for winning trade concessions from Japan's fallen government, it was this high-profile meeting with the leading contender to replace the scandal-ridden regime. Breaking summit tradition, Clinton met with the political opposition and didn't mince words about Japan's $50 billion a year trade surplus.
The United States thinks it is absolutely critical for the imbalances to be reduced. We think it is in the interest of both countries for that to happen.
But Clinton has had no luck persuading lame duck Prime Minister Kiichi Miyazawa, referred to in Japan as the dead body, to take steps toward reducing his country's trade surplus. Although last-minute concessions from the Japanese slightly improved chances of a breakthrough, there was still obvious disagreement.
Since the world trade is free trade, you cannot determine the exports and imports.
We have a slight difference of view on that.
With Miyazawa sitting glumly at his side, Clinton went on to praise the political shakeup that has hit Japan's longtime ruling party like an earthquake.
This is already a period of change in Japan, and I would hope that that would be viewed with hope and not with fear by the Japanese people.
Clinton began his second day in Tokyo, Tuesday evening on the West Coast, by speaking to students.
The time has come for America to join with Japan and others in this region to create a new Pacific community. And this, to be sure, will require both of our nations to lead and both of our nations to change.
With little hope of a trade agreement, Clinton's larger goal is to establish himself as a foreign policy leader when the summit officially opens today. Andrea Mitchell, NBC News with the President in Tokyo.
The only progress in trade talks here so far simply involves a framework for future negotiations. That's sort of like agreeing on the shape of the table. As NBC's economics correspondent Irving R. Levine reports tonight, the United States and Japan still disagree on how to shrink Japan's huge trade advantage.
Tokyo's Akihabara district, mecca for Japanese electronics. So what are these headphones made in Milwaukee doing here? Michael Koss spent years negotiating to get even a few of his headphones into Japan.
They weren't really interested in stocking a lot of products that would appear to be too competitive with the domestically made Japanese product.
But for every success, there are countless horror stories from American firms. When Guardian Industries shipped glass from this Detroit plant to a Tokyo customer, a major Japanese glassmaker bought up Guardian's glass and smashed it all, a warning to other Japanese firms not to buy from the U.S. Morrison Knudsen, builder of huge construction projects, threw in the towel in Japan because it couldn't get permission even to bid for jobs.
We gave it the old college try for 3 years in Japan, but finally decided it was not worth the effort to continue.
President Clinton has come to Tokyo with a controversial new approach called managed trade. The Japanese would have to agree to precise targets for the purchase of a wide range of U.S. products. That would cut into the sales of Japanese firms of everything from auto parts to apples. So Japan hates the idea.
Japan will be strongly opposed to this type of agreements.
Other countries also fear being told how much they must import from the U.S., and they might retaliate with trade barriers.
You'll basically get back to the situation we had in the Great Depression, where protectionism caused the whole world economy to collapse.
In the election campaign now underway in Japan, all candidates oppose managed trade. Still, President Clinton remains committed to fight for it, even though it could sour U.S.-Japan relations and hurt rather than help U.S. trade. Irving R. Levine, NBC News, Tokyo.
Other news around the world now. The Speaker of Iraq's National Assembly warned today that Iraq may stop cooperating at all with the United Nations on weapons destruction. The Iraqi Assembly will meet in emergency session tomorrow. And in the former Yugoslav Republic of Macedonia, American military transports have begun shuttling in equipment for their mission. About 300 U.S. American troops, that's a symbolic force, are expected later this month. There was another bombing in Northern Ireland, a huge one in a small town near Belfast. 17 people injured, including 5 police officers. They were evacuating the area at the time after receiving a warning from the IRA when the bomb went off. More news from Tokyo when Nightly News continues in a moment.
I know what I like and don't like. I don't like irregularity. It slows me down. I don't like harsh chemical laxatives. I like natural, like new smooth texture, regular flavored Metamucil. It's the only natural fiber with no sweeteners, no added flavors, as well as no grit. I don't like those. So it's easy to take, easy to get the extra fiber I need, and it works just the way I expect from Metamucil, to get the body up and running. I like that.
Metamucil, the natural choice for regularity.
Everyone's looking for a good value these days. I'm no different. I buy bargain brands for some things, but when it's medicine I put in my body, especially a pain reliever, then I choose Advil. My doctor recommended it by name. And I've had it work on enough headaches to know it really does the job. The price? Advil can be only pennies per tablet. And if that's all it costs to help get rid of my pain, I call that real value. Advil, advanced medicine for pain.
I'll never go back to denture pastes or powders again.
Here's why. C-Bond Denture Adhesive. 2 powerful adhesives in a soft, micro-thin seal bonds dentures to your gums. Can hold comfortably all day.
You'll never go back to pastes or powders again.
C-Bond.
Save now on Goodyear for a limited time only. Save on selected Goodyear passenger car radials. Save on selected Goodyear Eagles for performance cars. And on selected Goodyear Wranglers for light trucks and vans. The time is now. The savings are big. The name is Goodyear.
Back in the United States tonight, several cities are preparing for new fighting in the abortion wars. The anti-abortion group Operation Rescue begins a major offensive this Friday to close down some clinics. NBC's Brian Williams has more.
Abortion rights advocates in Cleveland prepare for what may be the toughest 10-day confrontation yet with anti-abortion protesters. Operation Rescue has targeted 7 locations, planning to block access to abortion clinics in Cleveland, Philadelphia, Central Florida, Jackson, Mississippi, San Jose, and Dallas-Fort Worth.
A national plan to expose the myth of choice is coming to your city.
These radio ads are running in targeted cities. Keith Tusey heads Operation Rescue.
I think it definitely has the elements of a civil war because there's no compromise on either side. At least there's certainly none on ours.
Operation Rescue has become unrelenting. Wichita, Kansas, 1991, 2,600 arrests. Buffalo, New York, 1992, 600 arrests. And in 1993, we're back. This year, the tactics have gotten even more aggressive, picketing doctors at home, putting their pictures on wanted posters, even stalking the child of a clinic worker. Tactics designed to embarrass and increase the level of fear and intimidation.
No, we don't have to follow them. That's a misnomer. We go to their homes. We know everything about them.
Clinic protection.
Nearly 1,000 people have volunteered to keep Philadelphia's 4 abortion clinics operating.
We're ready for you, and we won't give you the fight you're looking for. We will, however, keep the clinics open.
Operation Rescue's 10-day campaign will be the first national test of the strength of the anti-abortion movement since the election of the first pro-choice president in over a decade. Brian Williams, NBC News, New York.
Some tough economic news. Sharply lower earnings are taking a bite out of Apple Computer. The company said today it will lay off 2,500 workers over the coming year. That's more than 15% of its workforce. On Wall Street today, stocks closed lower. Trading today was heavy. A legendary American reporter, editor, and author, Harrison Salisbury, is dead. Salisbury's 6-decade career as an American journalist included a Pulitzer Prize for dispatches from the Soviet Union for the New York Times during the height of the Cold War. He was 84 years old when he died of natural causes. I'll be back with more from Tokyo, the role of Japanese women, in a moment.
This is your life. This is your world. This is your chance. You gotta be there now.
Since Sprint is the only global phone company that offers everything, local, long distance, and cellular, it means with Sprint, no matter where you go, there you are.
What would you do for a Klondike bar?
Would you sing I'm a Little Teapot?
No, not me.
I've got a rich, creamy Klondike bar.
I'm a little teapot.
Come on.
Short, stout.
It's a Klondike.
Here is my handle. Here is my spout.
Oh, here you go.
Here is my...
For that chocolatey coated ice cream, loaded big and thick, no room for a stick. What would you do for a Klondike bar?
You can put your spot away now, sir.
At 5 a.m., all the Millers can think about is that first get-you-going cup of coffee. That eye-opening, fill-the-kitchen aroma of Folgers Crystals. It all begins with mountain-grown beans, fresh brewed, then crystallized, for a deep, dark, rich coffee just waiting to become your welcome to the day. There's no other coffee that kicks off the Miller's morning like Folgers Crystals.
The best part of waking up is Folgers in your cup.
Hey, you know what they're doing in there? Red Lobster's got this enormous shrimp platter. You get to mix and match 30 shrimp for just $9.99. Choose a combination of grilled shrimp, fried shrimp, or scampi. Mix and match 30 shrimp. Now, only at Red Lobster.
It kills the germs that cause bad breath. It fights plaque. It battles the gum infection, gingivitis. It's Listerine antiseptic. It's there to protect you.
Last week, Dateline revealed how you're getting ripped off at the pumps. This week, new scams and more rip-offs. We'll show you how they get away with it.
An all-new Dateline NBC.
Tonight.
Some of President Clinton's top advisors are here with him in Tokyo, of course, and that includes his closest confidant, Hillary Rodham Clinton. It's also her first trip abroad as First Lady. She is expected to do much more than just tour bonsai gardens. She's a major White House force. The Japanese have nothing comparable Of the more than 900 candidates in the coming elections, only 70 are women. There was a sharp debate here recently about whether the new crown princess should give up her career to become a royal wife. But the role of Japanese women is changing, but very slowly. For centuries, Japanese women cultivated an image of serving men, the essence of womanhood defined by the Confucian ideal that they should be good wives and wise mothers. But like so much in Japan, the role of women is changing. Not as dramatically as in America, but for this culture, the changes are startling. Young Japanese women are waiting longer to get married. Almost 2/3 of young Japanese women still are single.
Don't break me down.
At 23, Ikuko Yoshimizu is living a life her mother's generation could not have imagined. Performing in a rock band, out on the town for drinks with a friend.
I intend to keep on working, and I can't see being my husband's chattel or wife. I want to have my own identity and lead a life of equality with the man I marry.
Ikuko's boldness is exceptional and not encouraged by most Japanese families.
Japanese mothers encourage the Japanese women daughters to be very agreeable, to be healthy, and to be able to be very happy with themselves. But that doesn't always include pursuing a career or finding a very meaningful role in society.
Now, 40% of Japanese women get some form of higher education, but many, like Ikuko, attend only a community college. They're likely to become an ippan shoku, an office lady, an anonymous cog in Japan's economic machinery. Very few Japanese women like Sakia Fukushima make it into the prize jobs of corporations. They're expected to play another role.
Basically, one of the factors of economic success of Japan is based on this very uniform, very highly qualified male, workforce, which was supported at home, supported by their wives, and so they could devote more than 100% of their lives to the corporation.
Sakia Fukushima is a very modern Japanese woman. A vice president of an American executive recruiting firm, she's married to a Japanese American, and they chose not to have children. She lives in two worlds.
Especially when I see Japanese clients, I always have to be very Japanese. I just suddenly shift back to my Japanese-ness.
What is your Japanese-ness? How would you treat a Japanese client differently than you would an American client?
Well, I think it's a difference in language style and subservient. And for example, if I were talking with a Japanese client, I won't be crossing my legs. I would be, doing this to be polite.
Fukushima is not encouraged change will come soon for Japanese women.
Many Japanese young men accept this idea of equal partnership with women, but emotionally, I think they still need women at home.
Fukushima thinks it will take another 20 years for Japanese business to fully accept women, and only then because there won't be enough men to fill the jobs.
If you're taking the leading prescription medicines for asthma, ulcers, or high blood pressure, and you need a pain reliever, the one doctors recommend most is Tylenol. Not aspirin, not ibuprofen. Talk to your doctor about Tylenol.
I knew something must be wrong. I was getting these sharp pains, and sometimes pressure and bloating. I'm glad I asked my doctor. He said it was gas and recommended Mylanta Gas.
Mylanta Gas. It has the best medicine for gas.
Mary Clary thinks her zipper bags are the best and will never switch to Gladlock zipper bags.
That's right, never.
But Mary Clary, what do you say we lock you in this phone booth here with either your bag filled with angry bees or a Gladlock bag filled with angry bees? You see that green color change seal there, Mary? That shows you the Gladlock bag is closed. Your bag doesn't have a green seal.
Change is good. I'll take the Gladlock zipper bag.
Just kidding, Mary. When it really counts, only Gladlock has the yellow and blue make green seal.
Flowers, check. Balloons, we're all set. Okay, let's go.
All across America, we've surprised people just like you
Oh, no.
this a joke or what?
People have heard about us,
Oh, man, I see this on TV.
but sure don't expect us to knock on their door.
On TV, yes, but I never thought it would happen to us.
We're the Prize Patrol from Publishers Clearinghouse, and we could make you a millionaire next month.
Miss Buckley!
Conrad!
They had a love affair with butter, but cholesterol ended that romance until...
William! I can't believe it's not butter.
I can't believe it's not butter. The taste you love without the cholesterol.
Day after day, you make those glasses of thick Metamucil disappear. Why not make them all disappear with FiberCon? Doctor-recommended FiberCon gives you the same fiber regularity in tablets.
Easy to swallow tablets.
Get doctor-recommended FiberCon.
Tomorrow morning on Today, a lady bullfighter takes Europe by storm. Also, Rookie of the Year's Thomas Ian Nicholas and Bob Vila joins our Today family. So join us tomorrow morning and see what a difference Today makes.
Prices in Tokyo are so high these days, they're laughable. A tube of suntan lotion, $18. A bar of soap, $5. A quart of orange juice, $17. The American dollar is in free fall, and for those Americans living here, yen shock is a painful way of life. NBC's Jim Maseda.
Jeff Danoff, a banker from Chicago, was sent to his firm's Tokyo branch 5 years ago when son Charlie was 3. Jeff Jr. was born here. With wife Paula, they have learned that the best entertainment is at the local park. At least this is free. The dollar's steady slide against the yen has made their life
unbelievable. Still hard to figure out how that you can spend so much money in a short period of time.
Take 1 month, $21,000. For this one-income family, that's Tokyo on $700 a day. With no frills, Paula cut down on meat and fish, too costly. For $14,000 a month, they rent a 3-bedroom house. They have no car, seldom travel, or eat out.
And no wonder, a modest dinner for one in Tokyo costs over $100. And if you want to catch a $20 movie or a $90 concert, it's $6 just to get in the cab.
But the Danoffs try to keep the kids happy. That means...
Judo 2 times a week. The 2 boys cost about $200, $210. Piano costs $200. That's once a week. Swimming lessons once or twice a week for a month, about $250.
The bottom line...
3.5 times what it would be in the United States. For Chicago.
Jeff's firm covers much of his expenses. But as the dollar plummets, Japanese investors are wary of buying his bank's securities in dollars. Pressure to cut back employee allowances is growing.
You know, our costs are going to go up to some degree, but it's more that it's going to be much more difficult to get business. Those are only $20.
Food is the real budget buster. Paula has one rule: never spend more than $100 shopping. And what does that buy?
A pound of those is about $6. A small jar like this, which is 12 ounces, is $5. Half a pound of hamburger is $10.
A day's provisions. All totaled, about $95.
All right. Wait, let me add some pretzels.
Okay. The Danoffs rebase in the fall, back to Chicago, and a savings account. Jim Maseda, NBC News, Tokyo.
4 of our cameramen decided to get out of their expensive hotel for a round of Irish coffees at a cheaper bar and discovered too late their 4 Irish coffees cost them $130. Well, they say they had only 4. That's Nightly News for this Tuesday. I'm Tom Brokaw.